Hello, I'm TheZOMBIEJ. I will have a Moha video out for y'all tomorrow, hopefully. I'm kind of lacking on Moha content, but hey, what can you do? So I have another list for you. I got freaking 19, well, this is more than 19 genres of music that I absolutely, well, this is a list. That's all I can say. My favorite music genres, there's a lot of them. And some of these had to be like, multiple inclusions because I didn't have enough space on this little freaking notepad paper thing. So, let's begin, shall we? So, from the ground up, let's go with number 19, which is, basically it's a double dose. It's punk rock, and hardcore punk. Basically the same thing. I mean, hardcore punk is basically it's basically punk rock on steroids. Basically bands that emulate this sound, like Hatebreed. If you listen to Hatebreed, they do have a bit of a hardcore punk edge to them. They're very edgy and whatnot. So, and obviously punk bands, like Sex Pistols or The Exploited, Ramones. Punk is very interesting. It's fun music. It's aggressive music. It's fairly interesting, entertaining. Number 18 is post-hardcore, along with post-rock and post-punk. Yes, I'm into that kind of stuff. It's actually quite interesting. I guess I would put emo in there as well on the same section, but there's only a few of those. There's only very little emo music that I've ever listened to. I mean, My Chemical Romance, people joke about My Chemical Romance for being annoying and bad, and I actually like Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. It's a great album. It's a concept album. I dig the concept. I like the cover art. I like the music. It's pretty good. But post-hardcore and post-rock and post-punk, these three genres together are interesting. They're different experiences than listening to anything else from above. So it's just some good stuff. You'll see Vocaloid composers use the post-hardcore thing, like Yuppie. He's kind of delved into the whole post-hardcore thing, and as for post-rock, well, basically, yeah. Post-punk, it's basically punk, but like after punk. It's kind of like what Post-Grunge is in a way, but hey. Next, we've got a twosome with dance and electronic. Yeah, there's definitely some electronic stuff that I find catchy and somewhat trippy in some ways. Well, there's some dance tunes that I can dance my ass off to sometimes. I think it's a little embarrassing, but hey, there's definitely some songs out there that are catchy and fun and rhythmic in a way, I guess you can say, but hey. Next is synthwave. Yes, synthwave is pretty damn trippy. I will say that, but it's interesting stuff. Hidiotronic is a synthwave artist. He released an album in 2020, and unfortunately I still haven't listened to it, but one of the songs on there is Bionicle. Yes, he did a song called Bionicle, and just go look at the lyric video. It's quite interesting. Synthwave, there's also Joel Grind from Toxic Holocaust. He does some synthwavy stuff. Just look at his album, Equinox. His next album after that, unfortunately I forgot the name of it. He's done some synthwavy stuff, and it's pretty damn good. So, though some of it may have a bit of a darker element to it. Next is Vocaloid and VTubers. VTubers have great voices for making music. Though some of it comes off as just generic J-pop. Sometimes you'll have some rap stuff like Callie Mori. But in terms of the normal J-poppy sounding stuff, you got Kiara Takahashi, I think. Takanashi, I don't remember. And other VTubers like Gargura and who else? Iris. I know Kiara Takahashi, whatever the fuck. released her debut album this year, and I will be listening to that. It'll be awesome. So, as for Vocaloids, Hatsune Miku is my favorite Vocaloid of all time. Second favorite is obviously Megurine Luka. She's cool. I also like Gumi, Megpoid, Kagamine, Len, and Rin, I think. There's all sorts of Vocaloids out there. I'll also put the genre of Utaite on there as well, because there's some interesting stuff from that genre as well. Japanese stuff, it's all fun. Next we got Weirdcore / Internetcore. This is some trippy stuff. I mean, it's interesting material to listen to. You'll find playlists of it on YouTube. Go find them. It's interesting and it's trippy. That's all I can say about that. Then we got noise rock / garage rock. Two things that are basically similar. You got noise rock, which the best example of noise rock I can point to is the early White Zombie stuff, So, with Gods on Voodoo Moon, Pig Heaven, what was their third EP? Psycho Head Blowout, and of course their debut full-length, Soul Crusher. That's some great material. I mean, some of it is kind of shit by today's standards, but hey, I enjoy White Zombie's noise rock stuff before they went over to heavy metal, and then groove metal, and then industrial, and then yeah. Basically that. And garage rock, well, it's just basically rock that's performed in a garage. That's basically how it is. It's literal. And it's there's some pretty good stuff out there. Future garage is the next genre. Future garage has nothing to do with garage rock, guys. Don't get confused. Look it up. I watched I listened to a playlist done by a YouTuber named First Person. He has a playlist called Broken, and he has it on his SoundCloud account as well, so check that out. It's pretty damn good. This Future Garage is a pretty interesting type of music. It's something that seems a bit outlandish, and I've never heard it before until I heard that playlist, and I was like, wow, where was this when I needed it? I'll also throw out ambient and dark ambient, because there's some good stuff out there in the realm of dark ambient, some melancholic, some stuff, some just tear-jerking stuff. There's great material out there from those genres. Next we got Traumacore. Yes, I've delved into Traumacore, and there's definitely some trippy stuff out there. There's definitely some elements of, I think this genre gets mixed up with other tracks under the weird core or internet core or odd core or what the fuck core, basically. Traumacore, it's pretty good stuff. Sometimes you'll have audio clips from what we could seem as like traumatic experiences unfolding, which is weird, but it's good material. Next, we got contemporary Christian music / worship music. Yes, I still listen to this stuff, unfortunately. I'm not necessarily religious, but hey, the music is actually quite positive and fun and interesting to listen to. Dawn Michelle released her debut, Dawn Michelle from Firefly, she released her debut worship album. It's called Surrender. She released that in 2019, and it's pretty damn good. Pretty interesting. Michael W. Smith, he does some great music. Our God is an Awesome God. That song is just pretty awesome. The live version is okay, but it's not as good and not as complete as the studio version. So seek out the studio version of Awesome God and you'll understand. It's a great song. And contemporary Christian music and worship music is positive. It leaves kind of positive vibes building up in you. It gives you some kind of hope for a future. For a hopeful future, that is. Hard rock, this might seem like an obvious pick because Shinedown, they're hard rock, and so are Disturbed, apparently. Kinda. I mean, Disturbed were seen as nu metal. They started as nu metal with their first album, The Sickness, and eventually they kind of, as they went on, they kind of just realized that they're actually hard rock, and they label themselves as hard rock, and so does Godsmack, apparently. What the fuck? And then Shinedown have always been hard rock, but their first album was kind of a, it's got those hard rock vibes, but at the same time, it's more of a post-grunge / alternative rock album, kind of like 3 Days Grace and whatnot. That album is 20 years old, and, well, I can only hope that Shinedown releases a 20th anniversary edition of that album. That would be awesome. But hard rock, there's a lot of great bands out there, like Hailstorm as well, and there's just a lot of interesting hard rock from the 70s, 80s, 90s, even nowadays. There's some great hard rock, harder than soft rock, because soft rock is softer than hard. Yeah, I'm not even gonna make a sex joke there. Number 8 is soundtracks, scores, and OSTs. Basically, scores, OSTs. Composers like Michael Giacchino did most of the Medal of Honor game soundtracks, scores. And James Horner is another example of a film score composer, as well as John Williams. And Scott Humphrey, I think, worked with Rob Zombie on the House of a Thousand Corpses soundtrack. Zeus is another. Oh wait, he's a producer. Never mind. But there's a lot of great scores out there. A lot of great movie and music scores. Not music scores. Well, yeah, there's some great stuff in the anime realm of scores that were composed for anime, as well as live action stuff in the realm of Japan stuff. And video games tend to have pretty fun OSTs. Pretty much all the Bionicle OSTs are fun. Bionicle music in general is usually pretty damn good. It's pretty awesome. That's why I upload all those soundtracks that you could find in the in that playlist. Search it up. Soundtracks, CDs like from fucking End of Days soundtrack, that has a score as well, which is pretty damn good, because End of Days is a great film. The soundtrack CD, which sometimes you'll have songs from, like, for example, 12 different bands or artists put on a CD and released, just to give those artists more money, I guess, in a way. These are songs that are typically used either in the film, or inspired by the film, or just whatever. So, like with Escape from LA, that soundtrack CD, half of the songs were used in the film, and the other half were not. So, what the fuck? But hey, there's some great songs on there. And scores, just in general, some can be emotional, some can be just outlandish, some can be interestingly fun, and I just like scores in general. It's fun. Number 7 is breakcore. Why is it so low on the list? Well, I don't know. Honestly, I don't. But breakcore is a great genre. It really is. It's something that we all kind of need in this day and age. Artists like Sewer Slut, Used Cunt, Iwakura, Tokyo Pill, those are my favorite, my top 4. If I had a top 10 list, I don't know. I didn't explore that much, but there's quite a bit of breakcore out there. I've watched so many fucking playlists. You can find my I Love Breakcore playlist on my channel. Seek that out. You'll find a fuck ton of playlists in there. Breakcore is just like something that I absolutely fucking needed. We all need this. I mean, let's be honest. This is music that should have existed back when I was in high school, because I feel like it could have gotten me through high school better than what I already had, which was alternative rock, post-grunge, metal, and various random tracks from other different genres here and there. The fuck. So, but yeah, breakcore is awesome. It's great. It's brilliant music, made by brilliant people, I must say. And there's a lot of great material out there from breakcore artists. It's basically, you know, drum and bass and jungle stuff combined in there as well. Elements, you got ambient stuff and whatnot. The breaks and whatnot are fun. It's just a lot of great stuff, you know, catchy and fun and entertaining. Next, we got techno and trance. Trance, and apparently sex trance is a thing. I'm like, what? What? So you got sex noise. Sex noise. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Sex trance sounds interesting, and there's all different kinds of, like, hard trance is a thing, apparently, because it just bangs hard. It's basically hard trance will be music to fuck to. And I'm like, what? But trance is great. It's electronically inclined club beat, music that is just, it's interesting. It really is. Techno, of course, catchy stuff out there. There's some Bionicle related techno stuff. Like Up For It is a song that was used for a few different things relating to Bionicle the game. And that I consider a techno song, and it's pretty damn awesome. Techno is electronically inclined music that is entertaining and fun, and it encourages you to get up and dance your ass off. And really, it really moves you in a way. It makes you move your ass, yes, but it's also moving. Breakcore is a genre that really moves me in an emotional way, you know. So, number 5, we got Christian rock. Yes, Skillet, Fireflight, Flyleaf, Red, Decipher Down. I think that's it, really. Lacey Sturm's solo project, you know, she only has one album, I think, but hey. Christian rock is definitely some, there's some uplifting stuff out there. There's some stuff that goes hard, stuff that goes heavy. I know Skillet tried to go a bit heavier with their recent album Dominion, and kind of inspired by previous albums and whatnot. So it was, you know, like Collide and whatnot. So, you know, these are all artists that are able to really try to spread a positive message through their music, through Christ, through God. Yes, that is a nice thing, something that we definitely need. But I don't know, Christian rock, Christian metal. There's definitely some great stuff out there. Red are releasing a new album this year. I will definitely be listening to it. I will definitely buy it. And their last album, Declaration, was pretty damn awesome. Better than Gone from 2017, which is kind of a shame because Gone is actually a pretty good album, but it's just not as good as the album that came before it and the album that came after it. There you go. That's basically all I can say. Christian rock is good music. Then we got number 4 with two completely different genres. Grunge and shoegaze. We'll start with grunge. Grunge is basically a form of rock. You got bands like Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, which is my favorite, Mother Love Bone, 7 Year Bitch, Hole. I don't like Hole, but hey, L7. L7 are better than Hole. You can't deny it. Green River, Mudhoney, Stone Temple Pilots, oh god, who else? Shit, fuck. Screaming Trees, that was a band. There's a lot of great grunge products of the 90s that were pretty damn good. There were some that were kind of had their careers cut short, but then some of them were able to come back, and there was definitely some core attributes to the grunge sound. These are core bands for the grunge sound, you know, they were able to release music. Soundgarden, of course, are not around anymore. Alice in Chains are still around, and so are Pearl Jam, so that's good. Nirvana, of course, we know what happened. L7, I think, are still around. I'm not sure about 7 Year Bitch. But these are all bands that are able to make great music. There's a bit of dark and brooding atmospheres, and some of it a little bit more positive than others. There's definitely some great material from grunge artists out there. So they were definitely able to inspire another movement called Post-Grunge. We'll get to that. But shoegaze, I only recently got into this genre because there's 3 bands that were pretty freaking interesting. My Dead Girlfriend is a Japanese band that is, oh wow, this is some trippy fucking stuff, you know? Their music is good. They are capable musicians. They have great music, great skill. Their style of shoegaze is pretty freaking awesome. It's very catchy. Kind of hits the heart a little bit. I can feel a bit of emotion while listening to it. Sphere, there's a group called Sphere, not related to the J-pop group. No, there's a different band called Sphere, and they have an album from 2011, I think. They have great material as well. They have a 15-minute long song. That's only track number 2, which is weird. And then there's a band called the Fleeting Joys, and they have an album called Despondent Transponder. That's probably their best album, I will say. And shoegaze is just interesting, weird stuff, and it's kind of crossed over into other, kind of leaked its way into other genres of music, like black metal, for example. There's black gaze is a thing because you got bands like Ghost Bath or depressive suicidal black metal. They infuse shoegaze into their sound and kind of just are everywhere, and they're a pretty good band. They have great material. Some of it people have tried to speak ill of, but those people are immediately idiots because Ghost Bath does have some great talent. It's just, I think they're a niche band, you know? They're one of those niche products for folks that actually like shoegaze and in some ways like depressive suicidal black metal. There's a lot of great material out there. Then we got number 3, which is alternative rock / post-grunge. Post-grunge basically is after grunge. You know, you got bands like 3 Days Grace, Breaking Benjamin, even Shinedown, I guess. Who else? I wouldn't consider Linkin Park post-grunge, no way. Audioslave, of course, and there's a lot of other bands. So those fall under the post-grunge label, but with also alternative rock, alternative metal, and I guess Adelita's Way as well, and even Seether, Daughtry to some degree, 3 Doors Down, you know. There's a lot of great bands out there. Even Creed was labeled as post-grunge for their first 3 albums. They have post-grunge elements, and it's like, what's the point of post-grunge? It's basically what came after grunge, is post-grunge. And it was like, what the fuck is post-grunge? And I listened to the bands, and I'm like, okay, I get it. These are bands that are able to resonate with people on an emotional level and also on a philosophical level to a certain extent. This genre is coupled with alternative rock is pretty interesting. There's a lot of alternative rock. Alternative rock has kind of been diminished in a way because there's definitely some bands that are trying to resurrect it in a way, and they have been for the past 10 years, I think. But at the same time, there are like indie rock bands that are labeled as alternative, like Japanese bands like the Peggies. They have great material, and of course, you know, bands like I can't even remember. I would consider, you know, Cryoshell are considered alternative rock. It's symphonic rock, you know. Even have a little bit of tinge of nu metal in there, possibly hard rock. there's just a lot of alternative rock is like a secretive realm of music that can really in some way define a person, define a music fan in some way. So there's a lot of great material out there. You really need to seek it out. Number 2 is J-pop and J-music in general. So I have so many fucking favorites of the J-music. I will just kind of spare you the list for now, and I will tell you that J-pop is probably the greatest genre of music I've ever listened to, besides heavy metal. Yeah. And no, I haven't listened to baby metal yet. I will do that at some point. There's a lot of great J-music artists out there in the form of J-pop, J-rock. There's even some metal bands in Japan that are pretty damn good. And even rock bands that have a bit of metal infused into them somewhat. Look at Bandmate. They're fucking brilliant. Those girls are fucking awesome. Fuck. There's even a rock band from Japan, Stereo Pony. They were awesome for the time that they existed. And there's a lot of great J-pop artists out there as well, like Haruka Tomatsu, Sora Amamiya, Haruka Fukuhara is a recent one. She's pretty awesome. Kana Hanazawa, of course. Yoko Takahashi, she is a legend. Inori Minase, Kaori Ishihara, Yui Ogura. There's a lot of artists out there from Japan that I just absolutely love and treasure. Mad Kid, there's a group for you. Those guys are fucking brilliant. There's other groups like Trisail. What else? I can only say so much. These are some great artists. They're able to really captivate with their voices, with the way they sing, and the music around their vocals. They're just, I bet there's auto-tune, but who gives a fuck at this point? It's everywhere. You can't escape auto-tune. Even if you tried, just whatever, J-pop is awesome. I love it, and I will continue to explore J-pop and J-music in general. Artists, as I find more, I listen to more, I love more, and I will enjoy these artists for as long as I possibly can. I never get sick of J-pop, honestly. It's just fucking amazing. I treasure J-music as, probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, genre of music that I could ever listen to. This was something that I desperately needed. And I don't listen to K-pop a whole hell of a lot because there's nothing really over there that I enjoy a whole lot. But yeah. And number 1, this should be obvious. Heavy fucking metal. Yes, heavy metal. And obviously all of its different subgenres and subgenres and so many fucking genres out there. Yes, even deathcore, metalcore, new metal. There's all sorts of stuff out there. Traditional heavy metal, new wave of British heavy metal, thrash metal, death metal, black metal, grindcore, gore grind, porno grind. That's a thing apparently. Mellow death, tech death, symphonic metal. New metal, of course, alternative metal's a thing. Industrial metal, the groove metal, there's just so many freaking genres. Technical metal, technical death metal, technical thrash metal. There's just so many different subgenres and subgenres, and yes, metalcore and hardcore stuff there. I don't know. There's a lot of great stuff out there from every subgenre and subgenre, whatever, of metal. Metal is like this massive umbrella that anything can have a metallic quality if it presents it. And I don't know. I've just been listening to heavy metal since, I want to say, since middle school. I've gotten into Rob Zombie and White Zombie. That's why it was the band that got me into metal, basically, because my father listened to metal to some degree. And there's bands he enjoys, and there's bands I enjoy. I've probably listened to way more than he does. There's just so much great metal out there. It is not even fucking funny. I could recommend some bands, but I think I've already covered that with the amount of genres that I've presented. Oh, the power metal, speed metal. There's so many fucking genres. Brutal death metal. Thrashcore is a thing, apparently. It's like deathcore, but thrash. Death thrash, death black, black death, death black thrash. There's all sorts of infusions. And there's all sorts of modern bands that have this old school philosophy, that like Riffphobia and Warbringer and Evile. Excellent bands that it's like, you know, there's so many bands coming out of the woodwork that just really kick a lot of ass, and they really do. And I'm able to enjoy it. It just depends on like okay, there's a band called 6 Feet Under that are releasing a new album this year probably, and it's gonna suck. Guarantee it. Yeah, their 2020 album, Nightmares of the Decomposed, sucked balls. It was wretched. It gave me a literal migraine. Even the song gave me a literal migraine. Migraine is a migraine of a song. What can I say? But it's still death metal, and I enjoy death metal, but I just don't want to listen to that album. There are bad albums from metal, from under the heavy metal umbrella, but the point is, if you are able to look past the bad and focus on the good, the great, the excellent, the god tier, and I guess some of the average stuff as well, there's definitely a lot of great material out there. A lot of excellent material that will really get you, you know, putting your fucking horns up and just bang your head until your neck falls off. It's just absolutely fucking fun. Heavy metal is just absolutely kind of just... I love heavy metal. I love J-pop. I love all these genres, and I'm constantly exploring more from these genres, and I expect great things out of all artists that I've listened to. And, you know, there's just so much shit out there, so much great stuff. Gothic metal is a thing as well. Doom metal as well. Yes. Stoner metal or stoner rock too. You know, you gotta toke up some weed and listen to Electric Wizard, for fuck's sake. Dope Throne, I'd recommend that album. I could talk about heavy metal for hours, let's be honest. But I'm not going to, because, yeah. So, but, yeah, heavy metal, definitely my number one favorite genre. Sometimes it kind of flip-flops for me with heavy metal and J-pop or J-music. The first two usually flip-flop for me because there's just so much great stuff out there. There really is. Claris are a great J-pop duo, and there's so much out there. It's not even fucking funny. I mean, seriously. So, but yeah, that is my list of genres. My favorite musical genres. So many freaking genres. I don't think I can put all these in the fucking tags. But I'll try. It's gonna be fun. But yeah. What are your favorite genres of music and different, all these fucking genres? I know I didn't put country or rap or hip hop on here. It's because there's very, very little of that stuff I like. New wave. Again, very little stuff from New Wave or New Age I like. Progressive metal and progressive rock, there's some great stuff like Dire Straits, Dream Theater, you know. Okay, early Dire Straits, but whatever. And also I like Billy Joel, because Billy Joel, awesome. He's Billy Joel, of course. Of course, his music is great. Yeah, so. But that is it, and yeah, and there's definitely other genres that I could touch base on. I don't like country for fucking country sucks. But I respect the oldies like Johnny Cash and whatnot, but there's only one modern country artist I actually give a damn about, and that's Toby Keith. And yeah, I know he's fallen from grace as well, we all know this, but hey, he still has some great songs, you know. But yeah, what are your favorites? Post in the comment section below and recommend me some groups or artists from any of these genres, if you will. So, yeah, if I haven't heard them already, so recommend in the comment section below, and I will have some more lists out for y'all, and other kind of stuff. I will have a Moha video out tomorrow morning, I think. Yeah, so stay tuned for more videos. I'm TheZOMBIEJ. I'll see you folks later. Have a good fucking day, and peace.